I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
It's hour number 2 on a Hump Day Wednesday. That means you are officially halfway there to the weekend, and that means Super Bowl 60 on the horizon. But we still have a lot of great NBA action to talk about, a lot of great Olympic action, and also college basketball as well. The hot topics, they never stop. Hour number 1 to hour number 2, we keep you entertained all the way through. So when you show up to work and you get around that water cooler, you're smarter because of it, Joe.
What it's all about, Donnie, right? Knowledge is power, folks. And the earlier you get that knowledge, it's likely the more profitable you're going to be throughout the week with us.
Understand this, too, because we're going to get to a hot topic right now that I am passionate about. And I never understood the way that this actually started to happen and the way it's increased. We're going to talk about FIFA, the World Cup here, but also from a local standpoint, Joe. You're down in South Florida. You want to roll up to Sunrise to watch a Florida Panthers game. You want to go to Hard Rock. You want to go watch a Miami Hurricanes game or a Dolphins game. You have to pay for parking, which doesn't make any sense. An empty lot around the stadium that's built for that stadium. So when you pay a ticket, you have a place to put your car to watch that said event. And over the years, you've watched it go from $5 to $10 to $15 to $20. Now look at FIFA. They're selling parking passes for the 2026 World Cup in Los Angeles for $250 to $300 per match day per spot. It should be illegal to do this. And again, I've seen over the years, I've been a season ticket holder for a long time. It's up another $5 this year. I am going to your facility to give you money, and you're telling me I have to pay for an empty parking spot just to go in and watch the game that I purchased a ticket to. Joe, can you imagine going to your buddy's house and you pull up in front of his house? He goes, that's $5 right there before you come in. I can't stand this. It should be illegal.
Well, listen, we used to have to do it at going to the old Orange Bowl all the time, Donnie. It's the only place. Listen, I don't feel like walking or having to take a cab to try to get by parking 28 blocks away. So I'm just going to park it on this dude's lawn for $10 and we're good to go. A lot of those lots, ironically enough, Donnie, are actually independently owned, right? I mean, those pieces of land outside of the stadium itself, they're owned by different groups and different people. So, there's capitalism working for you right there, Donnie. Own a couple of parking lots and you can be like the McCord family.
It's unbelievable. Yes, exactly. Hey, I turned to an empty parking lot in Boston into the Los Angeles Dodgers. Maybe you can do that at this point. I say, Sal, they ain't making any more land than there already is at this point right now. So maybe that land outside the stadium. Like, again, you're probably looking at like 10,000 spots, 5,000 spots, $300 per day. It's absolutely robbery. But hey, we're a capitalistic market. If people are paying for it, they'll charge it, and away you go. So we'll see what happens there for the FIFA World Cup. Let's get over to the NBA and the hottest topics across the sports landscape, which is LeBron James. We're counting down to the trade deadline, which is coming up tomorrow. Will LeBron James be moved? Most people don't think so. Maybe be moved in the offseason or just leave the Los Angeles Lakers altogether or retire. So many options for the King out there.
It's such a weird statement that he made too, right? Because you're under contract with the Lakers. I mean, you're 41 years old. I don't know how big a market there would be, for a team to take on your $50 million remaining salary there, or would be willing to give you a new contract next year anyway. So I think it is Lakers or bust. I just don't know what what is he implying by saying that, Donnie? It's a little strange.
Yeah, he should be saying, just trade me this year, get nothing back. I'll be off of your books at this point. I'll go play for a team that can win a championship. Or in the offseason, I'm just going to go ride for another ring or two and go to a superpower type team. We'll see where LeBron James ends up, but I don't think he's going to be traded at the deadline from the Los Angeles Lakers. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., he's on the move from Memphis to Utah. Hope you enjoy going to bed before 10 o'clock out there. That's my type of place, Salt Lake, man. I'm in bed by 6, 7 o'clock at night. I would love Salt Lake City.
Yeah, listen, and you know what? I mean, one team there in Memphis obviously is hitting the reset button. Might be a little too late there, but they still have Ja Morant, which could be the next name move, because what we're hearing, Donnie, is that they are now lowering the price to try to get somebody to bite on him because they want to hit the restart button, and I don't blame them. But Utah, I love the move for Utah with Jaren Jackson Jr. I think it's a great addition to the young guys they have there. I think Utah they've been obviously hitting the reset button over the last couple of seasons. I think they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and I don't mind the reset button in the NBA. You're either in it to win it, or you just got to start rebuilding and hopefully you get lucky in the draft. And that's what Memphis is doing, because it's apparent that what they were doing wasn't working. Hit the reset button, get some future spots back in. Again, I think they're already up, Joe, to 12 draft picks over the next couple of years. So a complete rebuild process is in. Why keep Ja Morant around? Matt Nagy's in town to be the new offensive coordinator of the New York Giants here. Didn't really see that one coming. We thought it was going to be Monken, but Monken actually took the head coaching job for Cleveland. Nagy is now in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I know collectively a lot of Giant fans yesterday got that news and they were like, ooh, really? Is that what? Yeah, it is. So let's see how that rolls for Lamar. But, Lamar's a very unique, Jackson Dart's a very unique situation here for the Giants, because is he going to run him more? I mean, he didn't necessarily do that with Patrick Mahomes, right? So if I'm a Giant fan, maybe I'm a little happier that he's not going to put this guy out to get killed like Dable and Kafka did there in a lot of spots here at the end of the season.
We'll see how it turns out. I think most Giants fans wanted that more sparkly name there for Jackson Dart, but you got a guy that's been around the block here. And also keep in mind, was a coach of the year at one time with the Chicago Bears. Jalen Duren, he's going to be in the All-Star competition, the dunk competition, that is. How many people are going to watch this? And will they have more people at the dunk competition than they had at the NFL Pro Bowl games, Joe? What's your choice?
Well, no, they will absolutely likely have more people at the NBA than the 12 people that showed up at the convention hall last night to watch that. But listen, I mean, it's got to be worth watching now, right? I mean, a 7-footer in a dunking competition, what could be more challenging than that, Donnie?
Nothing can be more challenging. Not, maybe just about everything can be more challenging than that. How about the NFLPA? They're telling you right now they don't want an 18th game. Heck, they didn't even want a 17th game. They're even trying to tell you, Joe, that they don't even want Thursday night football. That paycheck is right. They'll welcome all the football that they can handle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's all about. It's all about the money, and everything the NFL proposes and does is about the money, including eventually getting every team on the schedule every year, Donnie, to have a overseas game. Not because They are so convinced it's going to grow the game worldwide because it's guaranteed to make the owners in the league more money than ever. It's coming, so get ready for it.
By the way, did you catch Roger Goodell's State of the Union press conference where he tried to slip in going, I hear from the players a lot. They love these foreign games. They feel like they're ambassadors in a new land. Are you kidding? Players want to go to Australia during the football season and travel 15 hours by flight, play a football game, 15 hours back in a land that probably is going to have you playing on an ice skating rink. Yeah, I'm sure they love that, Roger Goodell.
Yeah. But he also said that the state of the officiating in the NFL is the best it's ever been. Okay, so you are officially out of your mind, Roger Goodell. Thanks.
Fantastic. How about Lindsey Vonn again? Just talked about it. She is going to try to win the downhill gold medal with basically one leg out here. ACL. Look, when I see another NFL player tear an ACL and doesn't finish the game or play the rest of the season, I'm going to start questioning it now, Joe.
I'm especially if she medals here. Boy, that's you're going to be hard pressed to be like, ooh, I'll see it in 13 months. Yeah, I don't think so.
How about James Harden? Yeah, we'll see in 13 months asking for another trade out of Cleveland at this point. This guy is never happy, and he's only getting older.
Yeah, but it's ironic that he and Garland make pretty much the same amount of money. Only Garland's 26 and Harden is 34, which kind of makes it why it happened.
NBA trade market. There's one big shoe we're waiting to drop. Could it be Giannis Antetokounmpo on his way out of Milwaukee? Come on back and find out next.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize. We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
The end of an era, or end of an error, depending on how you look at it here, for the Memphis Grizzlies. They were once thought to be one of those rising and up-and-coming teams that, hey, maybe they'll challenge for a championship or at least be very competitive there in the NBA's Western Conference. Take a look at this picture of Dylan Brooks, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. The future of Memphis? Nobody left in Memphis, it looks like, apparently, Joe, maybe in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, well, Zach Edey is still there, and that'll be the guy that they base
Zach.
everything around here. And they got some really nice young players there too. But it's time to hit the reset button. I mean, you'd like to have figured out a way to keep Jaren Jackson, but in order to be able to get the haul that you just got there with a lot of other really good young players, Walter Clayton Jr. there, the former UF national champion, he was part of that deal from Utah to go there. I mean, it's time to hit the reset button. You got some nice pieces, but I got to tell you, none of this matters if they can't figure out a way to get rid of Ja Morant. They might have to give him away in order to fully get this restart going.
By the way, I do miss Adrian Wojnarowski here in the NBA dropping Woj bombs. It just felt more official when things went down. Cham Sharania tweets just don't hit the same. And here's one that they had from yesterday. Chicago, Minnesota, and Detroit have agreed to a multi-year deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. to the Bulls for Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric. Had no idea that guy was even still in the NBA. Detroit also receives a 2026 first-round protected swap from Minnesota. There's a Shams bomb for you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and Anthony Simons actually had been really good for the Celtics off the bench this season, but they needed a center, right? And that's exactly what they got with Vucevic. And I think a second round pick here. So yeah, I think the Celtics did a pretty decent job there in getting some depth. And hey, listen, Simons is going to help anybody, even a pretty bad defensively Chicago Bulls team, but they certainly didn't lose any scoring by getting Simons there either.
Bleacher Report, how about this? Comes up with the Warriors have involved Draymond Green in active trade conversations per Anthony D. Slater. Green is well aware and his future with Golden State is uncertain amid the Giannis rumors here. Let me tell you something. It's one of those where it's like Draymond Green is important to Golden State. He means nothing to any other organization in the NBA but a throw-in trade piece that they probably would want to cut at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, he's no fool. He understands what's going on here. They're in desperation mode to make one more run at this. And of the old guard, Donnie, for who are you gonna? Is Steph gonna be the? Like, no, like you're it, man. That's it. You're the guy that might be able to command enough to be able to pull the trade off. So you are absolutely going to be available at this point in your career.
And by the way, what do you think about here moving on from the Chicago Bulls there with Vucevic been there so long, double-double machine, Anthony Simons gets traded back here. I think it actually worked out well for both sides here, Joe, of this trade market.
I'm with you, Donnie. I think both teams ended up getting exactly the kinds of players that they want in order to compete. And listen, we know they needed some center help here, that being the Celtics. I mean, Horford's at Golden State, right? So they just don't have the depth like they did. I like it. And also, I believe the implications as far as the luxury tax are pretty good, too, for the Celtics. They're about $12 million above that right now. And I think with the Vucevic trade and working it out, they might actually be able to kick that can down the road a little while.
Much like Shedeur Sanders making the Pro Bowl, he had to be added on. So did Kawhi Leonard, an all-star in the NBA, who was selected after the selection of the initial 24 stars. Leonard was added to bring the total number of U.S. all-stars to 16, the minimum required.
We were laughing, Donnie. We were laughing. Yep. Yesterday, I told you, I mean, maybe the best part about this is the fact that he wasn't selected originally, and he's having a career year in scoring. He looks better than he has in years. And he wasn't able to even make the reserve spot. But like I said, if it was truly an axe to grind because he and the Clippers, circumvented the salary cap by creating a fake company and paying him the money that way.
He got away with it.
He got away with it. Here he is at the All-Star game anyway, in his own home building. And there you go. So Adam Silver, be damned. He went ahead and did the right thing. Put the best players, please, in the league on the team. And let's not do the whole ceremonial, let's get LeBron in there, even though he missed a month and a half to start the season. Like, come on.
A little bit of action from last night on the hardwood here. The Pistons 124-121 over the Denver Nuggets. They held off a furious second half comeback from the Nuggets here, but the Nuggets did get the cover. The Pistons get their 37th win of the year.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, the Nuggets finally figured it out there. But in the second quarter, that final minute, Donnie, they turned the ball over 3 times. They gave the Pistons 10 quick points in 30 seconds, and all of a sudden it was a 37-23 second quarter, and they were down by what felt like a million. Second, third quarter, fourth quarter, different ball game. And you know what? Nuggets ended up getting the cover too, because they closed as a 6.5 point underdog in that game, and they ended up getting the cover.
Sixers won a back-to-back yesterday where you knew Joel Embiid wasn't going to play. Loved the Warriors play early in the day, but as we know, I woke up this morning and saw my Philadelphia 76ers with a 113-94 victory over Golden State. Oh, that's pretty impressive. And then the first thing I saw was, oh, yeah, Steph Curry decided to sit that one out. So that bet blew up before the game even started. The Sixers win a back-to-back out on the West Coast here. Playing good basketball now, sitting at 29-21.
That line made no sense all day yesterday, Donnie, because we knew early that Steph wasn't playing, but the line kept growing. We knew Embiid wasn't playing in the second. But it was the third game in 4 nights for the Sixers, so I understood a little of the move. But, I mean, that line closed almost 5.5 for the Golden State Warriors.
It did.
It didn't make any sense, and the Sixers end up getting it done.
Yeah, woke up there. That's the NBA, where at least, Joe, once we get to playoff basketball, we're not going to have to worry about who's in or who's out. Surprise, I'm not going to play tonight. Surprise, I actually got upgraded from questionable to probable. Surprise, I have a mystery illness at this point. So hopefully that gets done sooner than later. When you put a handicap out there, you just want everybody on the court you anticipate. Steph Curry out, line goes higher, and they still get beat by double digits. Welcome to the NBA. Now, it's cold outside. Let's talk a little NHL action next right here on the early line.
They weren't giving it to...
Oh, it's a good point.
They weren't giving it to Nick Bonito. No, but I'm saying Bonito's a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not a household name.
Right.
You know, you survey 100 NFL or 1,000 NFL fans, they're not picking Nick Bonito out of a hat before Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons.
Right.
And that's, you know, when you get down to this award, that's the problem.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the 2-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Predictive markets, we love them, and also coming up here in the NBA, trade deadline acquisitions. Giannis is going to be on the move. LeBron James going to be on the move. We have roughly 24 hours until that takes place. But the question we're going to ask today, Joe, kind of simple on some of these teams. A lot of 99%ers out here. Which teams will make the NBA playoffs? If you want to get down on the Oklahoma City Thunder to make the playoffs, that's listed at 100% chance, but the buy is 99.6. So if you wager $100 in this marketplace as an investment, you will get back, Joe, 40 cents on that investment. Is that worthwhile to tie up a $100 investment to make 40 cents, Joe?
Yeah, no, that's definitely not. I mean, the only good news on that, Donnie, is that you will likely get that 40 cents sooner than anyone else, because they will likely secure and clinch that playoff berth in the next couple of weeks. So you won't have to invest and tie your money up that long, but no thanks with the 40 cents. I appreciate it, though.
But if you like the extra collapse, Joe, and you take a no contract out, that's paying back a $100 investment, $3,317 into your back pocket at this point here. Now, if you want to get a little bit, interesting, the Clippers at 43%, the Warriors at 54%. There are other teams you can have, but there are several teams that look like they're ready to clinch in the next day or two based upon these prices.
Yeah, these prices tell a very interesting story here, Donnie, don't they? But I would not go crazy in looking to fade some of these markets with such, because those prices are telling us, Donnie, there's nothing is a lock in this world, but those prices are telling you that's pretty much a lock.
Waste Management Open winner. I'll tell you right now, some of these people thinking an easy lock. Hey, who knows going to play in this one and tee it up? Oh, that's Scotty Scheffler. Looking at Polymarket, a 28% chance to win this tournament here. Do you know the next favorites are? Like 5%. Hideki Matsuyama, and all the way down the list we go. A monster favorite on Scheffler. By the way, if you do buy in that he's going to win this tournament, you get a nice little payback, Joe, $357.14 to the no. If you say, you know what, I'm fading Scotty, that turns into $136.99 off that $100 investment. How about that?
It's just impossible to. There's no value in backing him, Donnie. Right? So the only way you got to go here is hope that maybe he falls a stroke or two short, and some of the other guys that are actually in pretty good form, maybe they can come up at a big number, because there's a lot of guys that can win this tournament if he was not playing, right? There's a lot of guys that can win this tournament here, but at some pretty good prices. But at this point, it's so hard to try to fade him in any way, shape, or form.
No, it is. You got Mackenzie Hughes, Hideki Matsuyama, Davis Chatfield. By the way, $307 invested in Davis Chatfield with a 3% chance to win this. Schauffele, 5%. Pearson Coody, Maverick McNeely at 4%. Is there anybody, Joe, down this list that you might want to take a flyer on that might be able to knock off Scotty Scheffler, the favorite right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, McNeely just had a great go of it there at the Farmers last week in San Diego. He was tied for second on Sunday. But then he collapsed on the back nine there, and that was the end of that. But my goodness, I mean, he was throwing darts from about 150 yards at Torrey Pines, and if he does that here, he's going to rack up a whole lot of birdies. He finished tied for 6th and tied for 9th here over the last 2 years. So he's got 2 top 10s to his name, Maverick McNeely, at this golf course. I think at least another top 10, maybe even top 5 finish in this one.
Men's World Cup winner, the leader right now in the clubhouse at an 18% chance. It's España, followed by England. Well, they've been known to tell you, Joe, it's coming home for the 3 Lions. France, Argentina, Brazil, Portugal, Germany. You got to get down to 3% for Team USA. And if you want to invest in Team USA winning the World Cup, a $100 investment, Joe, would pay you back $3,334 for US&A. Is it España for you, Joe, or somebody else?
No, it is Team USA, Donnie, because I don't need them at that price to win it all. I just need them to keep winning a couple of matches and watch that 3% grow, as well as your investment, Donnie. That's the beautiful thing about the prediction markets.
That is true. We're a couple months away from the World Cup. It is played in the U.S., and also you're just watching as they go. An early victory in one of those group stages here can catapult you up from 5% to 7% to 12% here. USA making it through their initial draw could be very advantageous if you wager on them. We'll be right back, people.
They weren't giving it to.
No, it's a good point.
They weren't giving it to Nick Bonito. No, but I'm saying Bonito's a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not a household name.
Right.
You know, you survey 100 NFL or 1,000 NFL fans, they're not picking Nick Bonito out of a hat before Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons.
Right.
And that's, you know, when you get down to this award, that's the problem.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burst game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're looking for ratings, people. Everybody's chasing those almighty dollars here to put on a good display for your organization or your league here. How about this from the NHL, Joe? Wild Stadium Series game on Sunday was the most viewed NHL regular season game ever on cable TV in the United States with $2.1 million average viewers, which means, Joe, Boston and also Tampa put on a show that the people actually wanted to watch. Love to see it.
I mean, and it had a little something for everyone, right? It was outdoors. We got fights, a goalie fight. We had everything. We had, listen, I got to give the NHL. I mean, we ripped the NFL for whatever the hell that was last night, Pro Bowl games. But I got to tell you, the NHL has really figured out and has dabbled and tried some things that, you know, really do work and hit home to the viewer. So I hope they keep doing it, Donnie. I really do.
Yeah, look, if it's going to provide ratings, we're going to want to watch it. About this interesting atmosphere and two good teams. Hey, it gets ratings. Who would have thought that would actually happen here, Joe? And also, you know what else gets ratings in Florida? Hockey in Tampa. The Lightning 4-3 over the Sabres yesterday in overtime. And if I saw it correct, it feels like in the last 20 games, the Lightning haven't lost here. 36-14-4 on the season.
They are, they're kind of crazy, are they not here? But an overtime goal. Listen, Buffalo was holding tough in this game for much of it there. They had a shot actually to win this thing, but, you know, we're talking about a Kucherov 4-point game here. I think he had a goal and 3 assists. And, you know, those guys, when they're playing at this level, you know, Buffalo, who's filled with a bunch of young guys, you know, that are playing great. But, you know, when the Kucherovs call game, they call game, and it's likely over for you.
The Maple Leafs went up to Edmonton yesterday. We talked about this game, Joe, minus 220, minus 225s in the sports landscape here as a favorite towards Edmonton. They get blasted by the Leafs 5-2, which included 2 goals in the second period for the Leafs and 3 goals in the third period for the Leafs in a runaway victory over the Oilers.
Yeah, now they'll head into the break here on a 3-game winning streak. But, you know, like we had mentioned yesterday, too, I mean, these two teams, they love to score goals. They're both over teams, and until further notice, they'll never be sweating out an under with those two teams. And we saw it again last night. I think the total closed 6.5, and we ended up getting 7.
Might have been a time in the NHL where you can stroll down and say, you know what, I can't wait to play Tampa and Florida. Let me pick up a couple victories at that point, relax and get some sunshine. It's no longer the case. Boston heading down there after taking the loss in that outdoor stadium game, and now going to take on the Florida Panthers. Minus 146s overnight, Joe, turned into minus 140s and minus 135s as a favorite now towards Florida with Bobrovsky in the net. Are we going Boston? Are we going Florida tonight? What gives?
I will be at this game, Donnie, and yes, the Panthers can ill afford to lose another game now heading into the Olympic break. And Kachuk said as much here. He said yesterday, we're in trouble right now after they lost 5-3 after giving up the lead. They were up 2-0 in that game and lost to the Sabres here. So they need to get it done. They got 27 games left here, Donnie, in the regular season. And now they've got to figure out a way to get it done against a Boston team who's right there. They're in front of the Panthers here in the standings. So they're going to need to figure it out. Very desperate Panthers team here tonight. Feels like they're going to play it like that and could very well be a back-to-back loss for Boston.
Vancouver going to take on Sin City tonight. That's the Vegas Golden Knights. And look at this number overnight, minus 300, still sitting in that range, depending where you're shopping, at right around a minus 300 price point, with the total, Joe, listed at 6.5. Looks like it might be an easy game there for a little Vegas flu for the Canucks, apparently.
Yeah, but they haven't been great either, Vegas, right? I mean, they're trying to snap their longest losing streak currently in the NHL, and they've got Vancouver coming in. But, I mean, my God, I mean, they're challenging for first place in the Pacific Division, and they've lost 5 in a row. They've dropped 7 of their past 8. Not good right now. So Vegas, much like Florida, Donnie, they need a win, and they need a win in a big way here tonight against a team that they are much better than.
Let's keep it out here in hockey, Joe. By the way, did you see the arena in Milan and what it looks like at this point? Now, if we can post up this picture, you might not see it as well on the TV screen, but if you look at the stands, it looks like they ran out of money halfway through and just put in some random lighter blue seats as opposed to the navy seats. But the one thing I look at is when I take a look at center ice between the two blue lines, it looks like it would take one stride to get across those. And also the circles look like they're right up against the boards. This is going to be interesting to watch because when you talk about regulation ice in the NHL that we're used to, this ain't it.
Donnie, we have heard this now leading up to this, right? Was it going to be finished? That it, was this construction going to be done? And then even while they were building it, people were like, something's not right here. It doesn't look right, doesn't feel right. So I think it's going to be very interesting. Is it all an illusion, an optical illusion where it's perfectly regulation, but we're all missing it? Because it doesn't, everybody who sees it and is there in person is like, this doesn't look right here at all.
No, it doesn't look right. It's odd the way it came about. It's not as if it's like, oh my goodness, this was supposed to be in Spain. We have 3 weeks to get ready in Milan for the Olympics. You're like, no, you had a decade basically to get ready for this, and that's the arena that you put forward. Good luck on seeing it happen here. Other news here dealing with the Olympics. Sam Bennett will be joining Team Canada at the Olympics as an injury replacement for Anthony Cirelli, another Panther inside the Olympics.
Another Canadian Panther playing for his country there. And I mean, that's a big get. I mean, but, boo-hoo-hoo, having, Sabelli obviously not having him is not great for Team Canada, but having Bennett available, I don't think they lost a whole heck of a lot there.
No, they haven't here. And by the way, just taking a look at some of these options as we roll through. Canada versus Czechia on February the 12th here. By the way, Joe, I'm listening for goals for the game. How about a little Nathan McKinnon goal, plus 120. Connor McDavid, plus 130. Macklin Celebrini, the young superstar there in the Sharks, plus 195. Or you go with the old guard, little Sidney Crosby, actually at a 2-to-1 price.
Oh, I like the way you're looking at that there, Donnie. This is a much better price, by the way, than what we had to deal with the women's side here, because what was that, 2,400 My God. Yeah. So this should be very quick, I think, for Team Canada to get it done with and move on. And I think there's going to be a couple of games like this in the early going where it's going to be like, ooh, yeah, you probably shouldn't have been here.
U.S. versus Latvia here, minus 1,400 for the men's side here, and a total listed at 6.5. At least I'm looking at FanDuel right now. I don't have any goal props like I have up there for Canada, but if we're just looking at these two games side by side, the U.S. much more of a favorite over Latvia than we saw for Team Canada over Czechia.
Yeah, well, talk about a big favorite, right, Donnie? I mean, my goodness, in a big way here. I mean, look at the depth, look at the skill positions. I mean, Latvia is going to be all about hopefully playing enough defense and they have actually a pretty decent goalie, but that's not going to be enough to handle the firepower that U.S. is bringing to the table here. So, yeah, I would maybe go team total over for Team USA in this one.
Man, a lot of guys you can bet here. Just going back to that Canada game, who's going to score a goal here? I was looking down there. I guess Czechia. Would that be? Could you have gotten Jaromir Jagr on that team back in the day for Czechia, Joe? Do I have the region correct?
Listen, you could probably still get him to play today, and he'd probably still score 2 goals on you. It wouldn't shock me at all, there, Donnie, if you can roll it. Why? Listen, if Joe Flacco's playing in the Pro Bowl, why not bring Jagr back out there for the Olympics?
How about a 17-1 price on Radko Gudas to get a goal in that game? Oh, probabilities are endless here for the Olympics. We'll be right back.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Adding Hunter doesn't instantly fix its woes, it paper cuts them. He helps their perimeter defense and spacing, but Sacramento still lacks a true star and parts that they have to move. Hunter and Sacramento won't save the season, but this move tells you the Kings have officially given up on its aspirational stars and doubling down on depth as their future.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
College hoops heating up. How do you know that? Well, yeah, this is February. By the way, Joe, again, I will repeat this. We are sitting here on February the 4th. At the end of this month, you have conference tournaments, wire-to-wire finishes, and away you go into March Madness, which is the best time of the year. When we talk about, college basketball teams and hoops, LeBron James always comes into it, and LeBron James could be traded at the deadline. Don't think it's going to happen. Probably more likely he leaves the Lakers in the offseason. But his sons always come up here, and whether they got to a certain stage because of just their dad's name, you can make a pretty solid argument that that is the case here. Bronny James is not an NBA player. He's in the NBA because the Lakers drafted him because LeBron James wanted to be happy in Los Angeles, and they did that, and you can do that in the NBA. There's 15 players on a roster, only like 6 actually matter. College basketball, you could possibly do the same thing as well. Arizona is a really good basketball program. Bryce James, another son of LeBron James, is there. Apparently, he can't get on the court. So they're going to play it off as, awesome year, man, great process at this point, and we'll redshirt him. Why didn't he just go to a school he could play at, whether it's lower Division I, Division II, or Division III? Why does it feel like he's just propped up? I'm going to send you to Arizona, and good luck, kid. It's clear he can't play at that level, which, again, is a high level for Arizona. Transfer out and play basketball. I'd rather play than just ride the bench repeatedly.
Yeah, and what did Tommy Lloyd say? That, he absolutely sees him being a big part of the Arizona basketball program moving. No, he doesn't. He should go play for Stony Brook is what he should do, and try to get some reps and do some things here. Because, listen, we saw the same thing with Bronny, right? Where'd he go? USC? How did that work out? He could barely sniff the floor there either. So, it is what it is here. You're going to have the whole nepotism thing. And if I'm Tommy Lloyd, listen, well, sure, why not? Having LeBron James hang around practices and try to get recruiting, yeah, not a bad thing, but certainly doesn't mean, Donnie, that the kids and the offspring of LeBron are going to be even remotely close to what dad is.
Yeah, it's more fun to actually play basketball than it is to, I went to Arizona. What'd you do there? I got in late in the game for a minute or two when we were up 32 points and practiced the whole year. Go somewhere where you can play. It's not his fault that his dad placed him at Arizona. Place him at Siena. Place him at, Miami of Ohio, where he might get some run on a good basketball team. Who knows at this point? That's a perfect transition, by the way. Did you know Miami of Ohio, still undefeated, still getting into close battles, and still coming away with victories, 73-71 over Buffalo, 23-0 and 11-0 in MAC play now.
I told you, Donnie, that, this was going to be a big test for them on the road against Buffalo, who went toe-to-toe for them a couple of weeks ago. And Miami of Ohio was able to get it done at home in overtime. Almost had an overtime spot here in this one too, Donnie, but Miami of Ohio sneaks in and gets it done. So it doesn't matter. Just matters that you keep winning on their way to a possible 31-0 season, Donnie, here, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks.
How about a perfect 10-0 in ACC play? That's the Duke Blue Devils improving to 21-1 on the season after downing the Boston College Eagles 67-49. But I do believe, Joe, the Boston College Eagles did get a cover last night. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I told you that was way ridiculous. 26.5 points with Duke having North Carolina on deck coming up. And listen, Boston College hasn't won a ton of games this year, but you know what? They're pretty top 50 in defensive metrics across the board. And it showed, especially in the second half. So, 67-49. Duke gets the win. They got North Carolina, who's playing great, coming up. But Boston College, another cover for them. Gotta love it.
Notre Dame and Louisville coming up tonight here, Joe. Louisville, a monster favorite over Notre Dame, minus 17.5 at some outlets here, in a total of around 154.5 from the Yum Center tonight. Is it a walk-away easy victory over the Fighting Irish here tonight?
Well, it better be. I mean, the Fighting Irish are just going through it here. I mean, they lost their best player earlier this year, so they've kind of been a shell of what they could have been here. But, I think this is, come on, Louisville, put it back together, get it done. They welcomed back their best player a couple of weeks ago. It didn't work out great in that last game, but I do think that this should be a pretty easy win here for Louisville tonight.
Should be a fun matchup for Louisville's offense also. As we know, they love to shoot the three-point shot. 53% of their conference games, 53% in conference games. That's how much they shoot the three-point shot, more than actually inside the arc. And a fun fact for the Notre Dame defense, they'll defend the three-point shot a little bit, Joe, but they're 17th out of 18 teams in the ACC, at letting you shoot the three-point shot. So a team that will let you shoot the three-point shot against a team that loves the three-point shot should be a pretty fun matchup tonight for scoring for Louisville on their side. How about the men's March Madness Final Four qualifiers? If you want to bet them on the predictive markets right now, the favorite is Michigan, followed by Bryce James's Arizona Wildcats, and the Duke Blue Devils along with the Houston Cougars here, Joe. Looks like you get some pretty good price points out here at this spot here. But Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and Houston, the 4 favorites right now.
As well, they should be here, Donnie. But, you know, there's a lot of teams in that are going to be clustered right up underneath that have very good shots at doing the same. And let's face it, much better pricing. Teams like Florida, teams like Kansas now, who seem to have figured it out in a big, big way. So, you know, don't sleep on some of these teams because, yeah, there's value on the board. You're always going to have the Dukes, the Michigans, right? Houston and Arizona are always going to be your 4 favorites heading into the final couple of weeks of the regular season. But don't sleep on that next group because that's where the value is.
UConn, Illinois, Florida, Purdue, Texas Tech right behind them. And by the way, Joe, we always talk about, like, if you want to bet on them or invest in them to actually make the Final Four, take out a couple no contracts. I don't care how good your team is. It's hard to get to the Final Four because it's not the best of 3, the best of 5, or the best of 7. You just need a team that gets upstarted quick. You get a bad draw because we don't know who they're actually playing in their brackets. You get a bad draw from Michigan, Arizona, Duke, or Houston, and you're going to be playing good basketball teams right up until you get to the Final Four, and some of those no contracts can certainly pay off handsomely there. But to cut down the nets, Arizona listed as a favorite, Joe, plus 450, followed by Michigan, Duke, Florida, Illinois, and Houston here. We're getting close to March Madness.
Yeah, we are. And again, still the fact that Houston at 12 and Florida, the 2 teams that played for the national championship last year, and both teams in a lot of aspects are just as stocked as they were a year ago. So it should be, feels like the gap between the top and that middle portion has kind of shrunk here a little bit. Anybody is beatable. We'll see whether or not Arizona loses a game, though, before it's all said and done.
Absolutely. To the break we go. We'll be right back with much more, including best bets.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Adding Hunter doesn't instantly fix its woes, it paper cuts them. He helps their perimeter defense and spacing, but Sacramento still lacks a true star and parts that they have to move. Hunter and Sacramento won't save the season, but this move tells you the Kings have officially given up on its aspirational stars and doubling down on depth as their future.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Final segment of the day going to include some best bets here. We'll take a look at where the public wants to go in our Fade the Public poll, but also more important, Cleveland, we weren't sure the head coach was going to be. Bit of a surprise it was Todd Monken. We're going to hear from Todd Monken here on what the team's plans are, and also, I don't really think he included Jim Schwartz in those plans either. Let's hear from him.
My anticipation is we're not going to change the system. Very difficult to go against. I'm not planning on changing the system. We're built for the system that they're in currently. And I'm not going to get into staffing because that's not at this time to get into that. But they can be rest assured that we're going to keep the same system. We're still going to let them attack. We're still going to let them play free. I can't see any other way. They're a big reason why I took this job. The defensive players. I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I have a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz, but as I would hope he has for me. But I took it because of the players that are here, the ownership, Andrew Barry, and the ability to build this roster from the ground up on the offensive side. So, and I said this to the other guys. I didn't think I'd say it, but I'm going to say it. When I was preparing for the Cleveland Browns, I wasn't trying to chip Jim Schwartz. I was chipping Myles Garrett. And when I was sliding a protection to the outside backers or Grant Delpit that were blitzing off the edge, I was sliding the protection of the players. And when I was worried about throwing to the right against Denzel Ward or Tyson Campbell to the left, that's who I was worried about throwing at.
That sounds ridiculous. That they must hate each other, those two guys, even before Jim Schwartz thought he should get that job. There's no reason to go to a press conference and say, like, the defensive coordinator could have been anybody. I don't even care. And by the way, if Jim wants to come back, he can come back, but it's the players on there. There's no way he's coming back to the Cleveland Browns. They must have hated each other over the years.
I just love this. I mean, that is just priceless because, I mean, listen, every report up until yesterday we have heard is that Monken hadn't said anything about the future of Jim Schwartz, right, with Cleveland. But we also know that the Haslams love Jim Schwartz, and they had no intention. He's under contract. So they had no intention of letting him go no matter who they picked as the head coach. But my goodness, you want to talk about shots fired. What do you do now if you're Jim Schwartz? Oh, my goodness.
Shots absolutely fired in Cleveland. We'll see how that new defensive coordinator is going to be. It won't be Jim Schwartz at this point, but let's reach out to the public out here. Fade the public poll. Here it comes. NBA trade talk, keep it real simple. Yes, of course, but our question asked to the people at SportsGrid on X today was, who will win the NBA championship this season? OKC, Denver, Cleveland, and or the Minnesota Timberwolves here. 55% coming in currently on OKC. No surprise, they're the best teams. They're just a little bit bored right now in the regular season for me, Joe.
Yeah, I agree here. I mean, it's easy to go OKC, but I do think a healthy Nuggets team, they will get back Aaron Gordon hopefully here in the next month here after the All-Star break. It's very hard to go. Don't forget, Denver last year with not a lot of depth, still went toe-to-toe with OKC here and gave them everything that they had. I think Denver still has a lot of value here as a team that is capable of taking down OKC in the West.
We'll find out. Some teams are going to strengthen their chances at chasing down OKC at the trade deadline. We'll see if that works out. Let's get to our best bets of the night on a Wednesday. Here's Bye. Take us down memory lane, Joe. Is it going to be college basketball, the NHL, or back to the hoops in the association?
Well, Donnie, I told you I'll be center ice tonight for this Florida Panther Boston game, and I told you the Panthers are desperate. They're talking desperate. Kachuk says we're in trouble right now. Yeah, they need a win, and they need a win in a big, big way. And they're on home ice, and they're taking on a Bruins team that just blew a 5-1 second period lead to Tampa. I like the Panthers' chances. The place should be rocking tonight. I'll take them here tonight. I'll even lay the goal and a half.
Ooh. Puck line Panthers -1.5 plus 176 price for me. Last night in the NBA, I went with the Golden State Warriors, figuring Steph would play. He didn't play. The line went up. They still got blown out. I took a loss last night. So tonight, I'm bouncing back with the San Antonio Spurs. And only 30% of the tickets coming in right now are on the Spurs. This line opened up as a favorite to OKC, who most people think is going to win an NBA championship. Not tonight, people. I'm taking the 1.5 at home with the San Antonio Spurs to pull off the slight upset over OKC. Let's go 2-0. It's hump day, so we can rejuvenate on Thursday, one step closer to Super Bowl 60, and give you more information and more winners. We're out of here. See you bright and early tomorrow morning.